Well, we're gonna sit down for this review because we might be together for a minute. But then again, I don't know a ton about this gun, so it could go really quickly. Before we get into talking about the B&T APC9k Pro, say that 5 times fast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, comment. What is your dream sub gun? I'd like to find that out because sub guns are really all the rage today. So this here is the B&T APC9k Pro. I have recently become kind of a sub gun fanatic where I had a Foxtrot Mike AR9 pistol. I talked about how I didn't really like the recoil impulse on it. I don't like AR9s. And so I said, you know what, I should stop being cheap and get into MP5's. So I did go and get myself, come out of that bag here, an M&P, wait, what is it? It's H&K. It's been a long day. It's an H&K MP5K clone from a company called Brethren Arms in Utah that has since gone out of business, but this is a great gun. So I realized that I like roller delayed guns, roller lock guns for 9mm sub guns, because these are designed specifically for 9mm, whereas, you know, AR9s have been adapted to it. So the B&T is kind of like, you know, the new hotness from the H&K MP5. So they've taken some of the technology, not the roller delay blowback. I don't know, like the internals and all that crap. But basically, they've taken a gun, made it small, made it accurate, made it compact. It holds lots and lots of bullets, you know, 30 rounds in a standard mag. I've got a 20-round mag here, so it fits into my backpack. And they've made a really good sub gun that's been adopted by a lot of different branches of the military that used to rock the MP5. They're switching over to the B&Ts. And I'm gonna tell you, I bought this gun, so I paid my own money for this. I can't find them anywhere from gun shops, so I actually bought this from an Instagram influencer. I won't name him, but he can tag himself or, you know, post in the comments if he's really stoked on it. But he said, hey, I've got an APC9k Pro, do you want it? And I said, hell yes. And after a couple of bourbons, I Venmo'd him some money. I won't tell you how much, but it was more than the MSRP, and it's worth it. This is a super cool gun. So I got it, and the first thing I went and did was spray painted it. And some of you guys that are like, oh, I totally love the B&Ts, you're gonna be mad at me because I rattle canned this thing right away, took out the internals, taped it up, so it still works great. But the thing for me is, I think this is a great gun functionally. I think it is hideous when you look at it black. The thing is all tall, it's just kind of blocky. Like, you know, if you want to talk about looks, this right here, the MP5K, this is a sexy gun. In black, this is just blocky and functional. And it's so funny because this is Swiss and this is German. Normally the Germans do stuff that's blocky and functional yet ugly, and the Swiss make pretty things. Well, they did it in reverse. They made something, the Germans made something that's just beautiful, and the Swiss made something that's ugly. However, there's a lot of functions that are in this gun that take it into the 21st century that mean this is no longer my backpack gun. This is taking the place. The B&T is taking its place in my backpack slash van slash bedside. So let's just jump right into it. I don't know how long the barrel is. I didn't have a manual for it. I went onto the B&T website, and their website's horrible, so getting info is kind of hard to come by all the stats. If you know about this gun, you're gonna know way more than me as far as barrel length, yada, yada, yada. But it's small, okay? When the thing is folded up, it is, okay, in relation to the MP5K, I mean, it's the same size, which is a pretty svelte, small, compact package. This gun has a tri-lug adapter on it, and now this is really smart. So like the MP5's, it's a tri-lug with a threaded barrel in front, your standard 1/2 by 28 thread pitch. This gun, the B&T, it's a threaded on tri-lug adapter. So if you take the tri-lug adapter off, you have a 1/2 by 28 thread pitch underneath. So if you don't have a tri-lug adapter on your can, you can direct thread it. And what I like about that is instead of the can being out here, the can is actually gonna be sucked up quite a bit closer if you're using direct thread. But tri-lug is configuration. This is a great subgun can. I absolutely love it. Moving on back, it does have an ambi charge handle, which folds out of the way once you charge it. So boom, cock that bad boy. Oh, there's an empty mag in there. So it is ambidextrous, which is nice for you lefties. It has Picatinny rail down on the bottom. It has 2 pieces of pick rail, one on either side. I found out after paying 50 bucks for this, this Picatinny QD adapter from BCM, from Bravo Company Manufacturing. So I paid 50 bucks for this little piece of metal, and after I paid it and I got it, I realized there are screws in here that I could have just taken it off and bought a $14 M-Lock QD adapter. So whatever, I paid the money, I made it happen, I kept it on there. So it's got that. But yeah, you can take those off, and those are M-Lock underneath. My setup on the front right here, the one thing I will say, this is a fantastic shooting gun. It's kind of hard to get a C-clamp grip on it because it's so tall. The light that I have on here doesn't make that any better. And the reason though I have this Enforce WML underneath is because I wanted something. I am gonna be running, you know, backup irons on the front, and I'll talk about these in a second, but I wanted something that I could at least, you know, get my hand on and activate. And I really can't get a good C-clamp or a C-grip anyway, even without the WML on there. So finding a way to mount lights on the front of the B&T is actually pretty difficult because of the ambi charge handle. So if you're gonna run, you know, a light on top or a light canted off to the side, and you're gonna put a pressure pad underneath, your cable can get in the way of the charge handle here. So it's tough to figure out how to get your light on the front. I think if you look at Jake Dwyer in the 1911 Syndicate, watch his video, he used the Mod Light Generation 1 mod button, which actually is the button, and then it puts the mount off to the side, but he's not running backup irons on the top. So that was his setup. This is how I work it. Now moving on back to the bottom of the gun. Now these guns, the B&Ts, you can get them in a Glock magazine, or you can get them with the B&T magazine. I didn't have a choice. There was only one gun available, so I went with the B&Ts. But I will say, between the two, I would select the B&T anyway, because if you look at the Glock magazines, if you got Glock mags and you want to not spend a fortune on new magazines, okay, and you're just gonna use the Glock ones, that's totally fine. The only problem is the angle on the magazine to feed means that the Glock magazine is actually canted back a little bit, and it takes a gun that suffers aesthetically from some issues, and it makes it even worse to have the magazine canted back. So for me, the straight B&T mag is the way to go. Now I did have to go deep on magazines because it comes with one plastic mag, and the plastic mags don't have these bumpers on the bottom. I went and bought the bumpers, and I went and I bought extra 30 round mags. I like the 20 round mags. And then on these 30s, you can see here I've got a few of them, but I have this coupler on the bottom so that, you know, if stuff really goes bad in my suburban neighborhood in North Texas, I can have my 30 round, and once I'm done unloading on said bad guys that are trying to invade the hood there, I can switch over and I don't have to carry a separate mag in a mag carrier or a pocket, etc. And it sounds like friggin' Vietnam here today. We've got choppers going over, we got planes, we got jets. Pretty soon it's gonna be napalm behind me. But you know, we're filming outside, we're doing something different, we're just gonna have to deal with it. So getting back to the mags, plastic mags, the bumpers I would say are definitely a necessity. The coupler is not a necessity, it's just a super duper, you know, cool factor piece that I really wanted to have. And the mags too, super reliable, I haven't had any issues, but I will tell you that they're dangerous when you're feeding them, because there is this weird feed lip, and mags are the bane of any gun's existence, I think, but this feed lip, it's like a razor blade in here. So the first time I went to load a round in, I almost cut my thumb on this sharp corner here. So what I've realized is loading these mags is a two-handed operation, where one's pushing the round down and the other one is pushing on the front of the bullet to make sure that the one beneath doesn't pop out as you're trying to put a new round in. So you gotta push from the back and hold them in line from the front, and that prevents slicing your friggin' finger up just trying to load mags. So I like that they're translucent, you can see the round counts on them. Plastic I really don't care about. But yeah, the mags loading is an issue. But you're gonna get expensive on mags. They're like 40 bucks a pop for these plastic 30s. And then the 20 round ones, which I like for fitting in backpacks, you know, those are a little bit less expensive. From B&T.parts.com is where I went. Super fast shipping, good guys there. Once again, moving up, we have an ambi mag release. So we got mag release on this side, we got mag release on this side for you lefties. And then it's got ambi bolt close. Now, when there's not a round in it, I can't hit this bolt close, so I'll have to take the magazine out. And you can see here, you insert a mag, push down on the bolt close, and it closes. So as far as updating from the MP5, the roller lock, there's no last round hold open. On this gun, there is last round hold open, which is definitely a big plus. Moving back, you're gonna have a really nice trigger. Oh, great, now I've got a friggin' Hurricane coming too. So we've got choppers, napalm, jets, and a Hurricane. Awesome. So moving on back to the trigger, it is an AR style trigger. I've heard you can install some aftermarket triggers like a Geisley or whatever. I won't do that because I just don't care. This trigger is nice and it's light-ish. It's a standard AR trigger, mil-spec trigger. It comes in, I weighed it in at just over, it'd help if the safety is off. It was just over 4 pounds. As far as the trigger feel, it is clunky like an AR, but you know, not bad. There's a very defined wall. So you have a little bit of take up, defined wall, 4.5 pounds, click, you're good to go. The reset is pretty short. Not the shortest I've ever seen, but it's pretty short. Very, very solid reset and you're back on it. So the trigger's good. Apparently you can upgrade that. I just never would. The grip, I upgraded my grip to the Reptilia CQC or QCQ, whatever. It's a Reptilia grip. The standard one that comes on it is more of a raked grip angle. I like more of a vertical grip angle, especially for a you know, a subgun like this. Oh look, my light's on. It's just gonna make it more compact and helps it to fit in bags better. This feels good on the whole. It's definitely preparation H. And then moving up, ambi safety. I've heard some people, and by some people I mean Jake Dwyer, saying that this grip digs into his hands, so he had the grip safety shaved. He doesn't have super giant hands, so I don't know what he's talking about. This safety is totally fine. It's a 45 degree, very acceptable. I like the safety overall. Going up top, full length pick rail. It comes with these flip up iron sights, which I like. No one's sending guns with iron sights anymore. And so it's nice that this APC9k Pro came with iron sights, and I like them for 2 reasons. Number one, they're free or included in the price of the very expensive gun. But when they're folded down, they have a front sight post and a rear sight notch. So with my mount, and please excuse the fact that I have a super cheap mount, a $14 mount on a $2,500 gun, I can't find Scalar Works or I can't find any other mounts in stock. So Amazon and China was where I had to go to make this happen. So anyway, with the co-witness, it's not really a co-witness, I can see through the bottom, underneath my red dot, I've got my rear sight notch and my front sight post. If I flip them up, I now have a full, it's almost a full co-witness, to be honest, with these flip up sights and the Trijicon SRO I have on here. So, I mean, big props to B&T for at least including flip up sights in the package. Now, normally it's just a pistol on the back. This folder came with the gun. So I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how much it costs. It's from Custom Smith Manufacturing. I don't know anything about it. It looks 3D printed. It has this pistol brace from Gearhead Works on the back. Once again, I have no idea how much this costs. It seems to work fine enough for me. I tend to use the gun for incidental shouldering, so it's worked out. And I like it because with my $50 QD mount on the front, okay? There's a QD slot on the back, so I can sling this bad boy up and I can be like super duper operator ready to rock and roll. Now, this sling is gonna be replaced by Slide Tactical. I'm gonna talk about slings later. This is also an inexpensive sling, but it's just something that's here to get the job done. Overall, shooting this gun is great. The recoil impulse is super nice. Accuracy, I'm not such an awesome shooter that I could ever grade a gun on accuracy, but you know, I was shooting for the gram, not trying to be super accurate, and my hits were where they needed to be every single time out here today. They're always where they need to be. So accuracy is gonna be fine. Overall, this is just one of those guns. This is a unicorn gun. So if you ever see a gun of mine that is spray painted, that's me licking that gun, okay? This is now my gun forever. I will never sell this gun. And spray painting, it's kind of like, you know, my mark of territory. So I love this gun. It is gonna stay in the Morrow family forever, unless there's like a boating accident. But you know, I'm gonna keep this gun forever, and shooting it suppressed with the Dead Air Wolfman, it is just a friggin' pleasure. So in conclusion, if this were a middle school essay, I just did you bingo, bango, bongo on you. In conclusion, what would I take? Would I take an MP5K or would I take an APC9k? And I think the answer is very, very clear. You take both, okay? Because this right here will never go out of style. I mean, when I'm shooting, now I'm talking about a B&T, now I'm like all on MP5Ks. When you're shooting this, just where your hands go, I mean, look at how I can grip over that and grip over the charge handle or C handle or whatever it's called. I mean, this is a fun gun. Now, the trigger on the MP5's is notoriously horrible, but that's where this, you know, definitely takes over. Trigger, last round hold open. You know, the magazines, MP5 magazines are notoriously finicky until you break them in. But yeah, man, which one would I take? I mean, if you can get both, get both. Now, will I spray paint this gun, this MP5K? Hell no, because it's a friggin' MP5K clone. It just looks so good. So anyway, that's gonna stay that way. So, I don't know, I've probably lost subscribers at this point because I'm just rambling on and on. But if you have an opportunity to get an APC9k Pro or any type of MP5K clone that's reasonably good, get them, because subguns are super, super fun. This is super reliable, and I'm keeping it forever. I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you've made it this far, you are probably wondering if there's like something super secret at the end of the video, like, you know, Marvel, and there isn't. Like, I have nothing else to say. I'm honestly wondering why you're still watching. So it's time to go. Click the forward arrow and, you know, get the hell on out.